I have named the first 11 parties that were founded in the United States since the 1790s. All right. Then we have what? The True Win Party, which Liberia copied and cared to Liberia. Hmm? Then we have the Liberty Party, copyright. Here we go. Then we have the Law and Order Party. I think somebody had it in Liberia. Law and Order, this and that. Rhode Island. Okay. We had the Free Soul Party. We had the Opposition Party. We had the Republican Party that emerged in the 1854. We have the American Party. Okay. They call it Know Nothing. Okay. In 1854. The American Republican Party, 1854, the Constitutional Union Party. It goes on, the National Union Party. Then we have the Greenback Party. The one that I remember, because I was already here, was the Tea Party. They also had the Progressive Party. You remember Liberia, they had the Socialist Party. Somebody will ask, why are you talking about all of these things? All of these parties came about because from the beginning, America was trying to find its footing to see which party they can align with. So new one keeps coming. It was a new country, okay? And they went through that. Here we go. I'm going to name to you all of these parties, how many of them? You presidents, okay? Now here we go. First, the Federalist Party, which is the first party of the United States. Creator, the president, John Adams, 1797 to 1801. The Democratic Party, and that particular political party no longer exists. Okay. John Adams was one of the founding members, okay, of the America we are in today. Now, then the Democratic Republican Party, your four president, it came to being from 1800, okay, to 1825, 1829. Then we came now to the Democratic Party, who have developed all 16 presidents from 1829 till now. Y'all remember this? Why you're stuck in one place. And I know we are not stuck. So we will you and we will what? We will excel. We will who is that? I'm sorry, somebody like coming. Then we have the Republican Party. The Republican Party have what? Have what? Put out 19 presidents from 1861. We have the Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's that. The beginning with Abraham Lincoln, president, and we have had what? George Bush, the Bushes, the Reagan, the Theodore Roosevelt, the Dwight Eisenhower, the Richard Nixon or Nixon Gate, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush. Now we got Donald Trump. Okay, and it continues. All right. So there's something I'm going to say to this, but I will not say it today. I will say another day. All right. Now, here what I want you to do. Americans are also thirsty. They'll believe at this point that both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party at this point are not meeting their needs. So they're looking out to see what new breed of leadership that will be able to keep their word. And I'm going to start with the Zoram Kwame Magdani. Everything that he said he would deliver in the first 90 days, in the first 6 months, that people said was impossible, have been delivered. Crime is down 50% in decades. They got the first Head Start. They have, I think, twice a week where parents can drop off their kids and have time off together. He had changed a lot of stuff, but I'm going to play that. Now, let me bring this to be y'all who are stuck on, and that's the way I'm going. The wind of change is blowing in America, and November will be a bloody nose, and we're standing up for that. I want you to listen to this young man I just won, okay? Born in America, all right? And for Egypt, who just won in Michigan. and he has set the whole America on fire. Everybody talking about him, how he's going to turn America into a Muslim state. We met the Indians here. This is the land of the red man. They look like Mexicans. They look like South Americans. That's what they look like. This is the land where I sit here, the Creek land, the Salzburger, the Highland Scott, the English, the Jews, they all came here looking for new land when the land was overpopulated. Okay? The Salzburger were being prosecuted for their religion. They need a place to practice freely. They enter here. Today, the very people are discriminating. Okay? And they're afraid of their own shadow. I'm saying it, not afraid. All right? So, let me share this. If you're here, please share. Folks, I was looking for my phone to share, and now I just came from today is college moving day. We just got back, so I'm really tired. I was anticipating if I, wanted to come on or not to come on. Okay. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. But I'm going to play this video of this young man, and I want all of us to listen to him and what he has to say. He just won. He just won. I want you, I played this the other day, but I'm going to play it again. This is a doctor. This is a doctor. I have no copyright to this video. Okay. This is an doctor, an MD. Okay. The DE is name. It's a medical doctor. All right. I want you all to listen to him. Why? His why. It's not to get rich. What he does, I believe he's already a millionaire. If not, he's well on his way. The longer he stay in there, the more money he will make. As a young man, okay? And went to some of the best school, brilliant, graduated on top of his class. He was the valedictorian, right? That he can. But let's hear his why. And the reason I'm saying that, I listened to John Kalondo, this Kalondo tonight on Spoon. Maybe I will play it later. Not sure if I want to even play it. Okay, where is my stuff? And he said, politics is about interest. This is how we are poisoning our people. And they need a Machiavellian came on. Machiavellian Liberian people, I want you all to remember this. Majority of what Machiavellian spoke of in respect to human nature, inflicting fear, using power to sabotage, to oppress people, it still exists today. Okay? Not having enough to satisfy every man's greed is still is, but God created enough for all of us to live soundly. Okay? Now, Machiavelli lived over 500 years ago. A philosopher, a king. We're not living in the days of king. Even in England, they challenged the king. And we're in a new time. It's like somebody talking about the 48th law of power, okay? And they tell you, never outshine your leader. Guess what? In the Silicon Valley, Zuckerberg get the best minds to come and work for him to create. In fact, just the other day, some of the IT company, the name will come to mind, okay, were hiring people and were paying them almost $1 million. And I sent the stuff to my little brother. He's into AI, big into AI. It's all over the place. And he says, sis, this is good. What these people want you to do, yeah, by the time they're done, they'll all be millionaire. But what they want you to do is they want to pick all your brain. This is a short term. After they're taking everything out and build the robots, and people will be out of job. That is character. For a man who comes from little means, who came to this country, who walked by land to go to school, who stay in refugee camp in Ivory Coast, who literally was a child when the war started, could have said, I am brilliant. I will go take that for 2 years and become multi-millionaire. I know some of you will say he's stupid. No, he's not stupid because he's doing already well. Okay. And he says, sis, this is what it is. All right. So some people have conscience and some people do not have conscience. Now I'm gonna play this. What I'm saying is this young man is living something that his family were never gonna be put on the line. But he said, I gotta be on the table to be there. So let's see what Dr. Abdul say here. All right. I want you to listen to his why. His why. And listen to the term and terminology that he used, because in Liberia, we don't listen. I want you all to listen. And I'm not just talking to Liberians in the United States. I am talking to all Black and brown people and good white people who believe that we all should coexist. Our children, as mothers, when our kids are out, we should not have to be worried, and teach our children how to wash themselves, how to survive and stay alive and come home to us. This is this. Let's hear it. Listen to him.
Because I wanted to be a doctor only to realize that our healthcare system was actively pushing out the people I wanted to take care of. And I'll be honest with you, it's like very few people say they got radicalized.
I'm going to go back again.
Because I wanted to be a doctor only to realize that our healthcare system was actively pushing out the people I wanted to take care of. And I'll be honest with you, it's like very few people say they got radicalized in med school. But like when I watched our healthcare system, like on the 9th floor of the extremely prestigious hospital that I was training in, we had people playing pianos for foreign dignitaries coming to get heart procedures. And then in the basement, watching indigent New Yorkers get, in effect, pushed out of the healthcare system before they got the care they needed. It really changed the way I thought about our system. That's the side of things that I've had to struggle with. How righteously mad can I be on behalf of people who've had a system that is architected against them in ways that actively lies to them? And that shit pisses me off. I went to medical school.
Okay. I want you to listen to the choice of word that he used in the end. This is what I struggle with, meaning I don't understand why would our system be this way. I do not understand. Liberian people, y'all come. It means I do not understand, okay? That's not what I taught. But I struggle with this because it is beyond me, all right? Let's go back here. Let's listen to him.
New Yorkers get, in effect, pushed out of the healthcare system before they got the care they needed. It really changed the way I thought about our system. That's the side of things that I've had to struggle with. How righteously mad can I be?
Did you hear that? I'm going to leave this right here. All right? I'm going to leave this right here. Brilliant young man. All right? I want you to start listening to. All right? Sis Liz, how are you? Because that's your Mexican guy. I donated to him. The first time I saw him, yes. This young man, and this is what leadership does. Leadership inspire you. It does not push itself on you. It inspires you. This young man said he was at a gathering on his campus and Bill Clinton showed up. And his line of questioning, when he got through, Clinton walked to him and said, you need to be in politics. And he said, somebody with this plenty long name, we don't know anything. I'm brown and I'm Muslim. So this is what we do. I'm in medical school. And then when Obama won the election, when Obama was nominated, after everything went through, he said that was his aha moment and said, this is possible. Okay. The people who weren't born in this country are telling this man that he does not belong. All right. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck about your religion. Where I've come to, where I stand at this point, a good person is going to be good. All right. The man who saved us from our own people who look like us. Lately, I've been watching what is happening in the Darfur. Okay. And what is happening in Nigeria. I am watching people who look like each other, people who speak the same language, tying each other, their children on tree and beating them until they bite them, taking advantage of children and their family, burning down home in the name of religion. I will say in my grandfather's voice, the God that comes to my town, that tells my siblings that both of all of us are orphan, that once they have become a part of, they change the name that was given to them by the family that was blessed by the ancestor, okay, and confirm and affirm by the town. I'm telling you that name is not good enough. And the very people tell you again that you cannot wine or you cannot dine with your siblings because you're no longer in the same class, because you belong to different religion. I do not care about that. And learning American history and world history, it keeps me up at night. Okay? If you need religion to be good, you're not a good person. If you need law to be empathetic, you are not a good person. It means the only reason that you're not hurting other people is because you know that the law is going to hold you accountable. You have no self-control. That is a man, that boy has set the world on fire. And we know in December, the tide is going to shift. And that when someone always start coming out, Liberia, we're coming. Okay, we're coming. Now, I heard Kalondo today. I know Kalondo. You may not remember because he's a big man now. When he first came from Sierra Leone in 1990, y'all ask him. The place, the one bedroom that he rented, it was in my auntie house, my late auntie house, on the old road, right behind the Mandingo graveyard, in the yellow house that right there when you get into, you walk into the sand before you go to Barclay. You go, you turn right, you go to, I think it's called St. Peter, to the Catholic Church. You go straight down, you go to, I'm going to say, Duzon Drive. I don't remember that. It's been so long, almost 40 years ago. Okay, when he first came, the people who first gained electricity, because we have, my papa used to call it dynamo generator. Generator, okay? We have generator, we gave him generator. You're welcome, sis, all of you, please share, okay? And that's the question I want to ask. When he said tonight, and I will play that later if I can find that particular part, he said, politics is about interest. Politics, and I don't normally, sometimes I don't agree with Dr. Buble, but I like what he said tonight. When does it become the interest of the people? And this is why America is waking up. I'm talking between two countries, okay? Americans have come to realize that politicians can't keep their word. They can't do what they said they would do because Mandani has done it. And these young people are coming, they're making pledges and telling you, all right, all the people that Mandani endorsed, they all won the primary. You know why that is that? Because people are believing. Okay? People are believing. Now they're bringing the scare tactic. Oh, they're going to make your girls wear boga, meaning they will cover their hair all around. They will turn America into a Muslim country. America practice, the Indian people try and practice what they call spirituality, where they believe almost like Shintoism or animism, okay? That everything has spirit, okay? They only ate what they could live off of. They try to destroy the whole land so they can reproduce everything so people can buy for them. They didn't try to put people in cage. Just as the Indians live, they live in a group per tribe. Okay? They make concession with one another. They in a marriage to stay away so they can't have war. They have different tribes, many tribes. All right? Now there's a new breed of leadership. They call themselves democratic socialists. Okay? FDR was a democratic socialist. America changed over based on his policy, what you call today social security disability, the different parts of social security, the retirement, to give life to America, okay? After the Great Depression, what we call during that Reconstruction time, okay? That's what he did. He gave money to states to build bridges, to build dams, to build, what do you call it? Different things. Even Obama just did that. Obama did that doing the bubble bust. The very Wall Street that talk about welfare. Elon Musk came here as a student. He did not have papers. And when he did, and he had an idea, America put money into a million billionaire. Okay? So they're getting afraid. So this young man won. And I'm going to play one more video of him. And I will not play McDonald, anything about him tonight. But I will play, and I played last week, I played John Ossoff. The wind of change is on the rise. And it is also oh God. It is also coming on in Liberia. So when I listened to Kalondo this morning, okay, I listened to Kalondo this evening, that he had met with Bouaka. They're not going anywhere until he put his money in there. These people are not saying anything. These people are not saying anything about how they're going to change your life. You brought them on to change your life. You brought them on to be different. You brought them on to rescue you. Okay? When FDR rescued the people of the United States, all right, he not only did he take them out, he resuscitated them. And after resuscitation, he put mechanisms in place for them not just to survive, to live. And they reformed the system that is better, that is built back better, and create a middle class, not a few persons. When you go to Warm Springs here in Georgia, where this man's house was, it was a small little house of president. He already came from an affluent family, millionaires. He went to some of the best school. He was a crippled man or a man with disability sitting in a chair that could not walk by himself. That's exactly what he said. He wanted to take the money back with interest. So he had a meeting with Bouaka. The funny thing is, I just told you, I knew when this Kalondo guy came to Liberia in 1990 during the war, he rented a space in my auntie's house. You're asking. The land where he built a hotel on there, that's my great auntie land. That land was given to my mother, but we all had left. My mom would not go and fight for it. That particular land next to that place right there, it's in my family. God knows. Okay? And my mom said, let it stay. That particular land, I've never been there since he built it though. But I know because my mother told me. But I knew the place right there, the back of the Springfield. That was my great aunt, Esther Lou Cooper. She gave that to my mother. Okay? Her only son was killed during the war. She died here. When you hear somebody like that, then people say, oh, he's drunk. You don't know what he's saying. He knew exactly what he was saying. Although Stanton tried to cut him off, he muted him and said, my man, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Stanton, man. Stanton, we know the drill. We know it. The man talking, we can't hear him. We were just hearing the man. The man was putting his foot in his mouth. He was not putting his foot. He was telling us the truth. He was telling us the truth. So tonight, everybody is talking about, we want everybody to come together, everybody want to win. Why do you want to win? That should be the question, Liberian people. This boy told us his why he wants to win. Liberian people, why do you want to win? You want to come together. Why do you want to win? To pay back so we can win the sin circle. That lady, Precious, I did a post 3 days ago. I told you Mr. Gay will be the default LDA person. All right? I said will be the leader indirectly. Y'all go there. Because most of us don't process. Critical thinking is very difficult in our culture. And you know why? It's no disrespect to our people. We are not taught to think as children. In Liberia, I have mouth sitting on top of my head. My wife was plenty. They call me frisky. They call me rude. I never stop. You ask me to do that, I say, why? My mom called me to come get water to people. If I'm not comfortable, I'll go in my room. You talking, I can't hear you. They may flock me later, but that's okay. I didn't mind taking the flocking. I'm not coming. That's me. That's me. Okay? Yes. Okay? Now, if the Christian people say they hate Islam or Muslim people, the Muslim people say they hate Christian, they must hear them. I get not all we have head on our shoulder moving around. If religion will take you to that place, then there's no need for it. There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it. That's how I see it. So for me, there's a wind of change. The young man in Mississippi who is standing up, they try to buy him from his seed. They took away his seed. He is standing up. That's the change that Liberia need. And they're not being paid for that. So I'm going to replay this board. Then I will play that spoon stuff. Let me play this young man. He told us his why. Okay? Now, y'all please let me share. Let me play this young man stuff right here. All right. I need you to listen. When this is what true leader does, it inspires people to greatness. When you have leaders that you brought to power and all they've brought is shame, it speaks to you and your character, yes, because people see themselves in their leader.
And
okay, there we go.
I would call somebody from my background with my faith dangerous. You heard that before? Now I wonder why you would call somebody from my background with my faith dangerous. You heard that before? And it's interesting. You ask the folks living in these communities, the grandma whose grandchild finally got a pair of glasses, if I'm dangerous. Ask the folks living in Southwest who finally saw somebody stand up to the polluters in their neighborhood, if I'm dangerous. Ask the parents whose kids were in Detroit public schools when we made sure that there wasn't lead in those schools, if I'm dangerous. Ask the folks who got Narcan that saved their lives, whether or not I'm dangerous. Ask the folks who got a medical debt relief check if I'm dangerous. I'm not dangerous if you need government to work for you. But I'll tell you what, I sure am dangerous if you're one of those folks who's a corporation or a special interest or a politician who does their bidding, who's stopping government from working for you. So yeah, if you're Chuck Schumer, I'm dangerous. If you're AIPAC, I'm dangerous. If you're a corporate PAC, I'm dangerous. If you're Blue Cross Blue Shield CEO, I'm pretty damn dangerous.
Now, this is why I said there's a wind of change blowing. Did you hear that young man? That is his why. All right? He did not see those children as Muslim or Christian in the inner city as a doctor. He treated them. He gave them prescription glasses. Narcan is when kids overdose or individual overdose. Narcan is when resuscitating. On my job, we have Narcans for our kids because, yeah, they start early. That's what he's telling you. And this is why the Americans, both the Democrats and the Republican, are getting afraid because there is a sertraline. They have the same, to some degree, the same jersey with different writing. Like today, my daughter has a t-shirt that says her school name. I have the same t-shirt that says I'm the mom. My husband has the same shirt that says I'm the dad. You see that? So that's a sertraline. What are you selling? Do we just want to come together to keep the same people in? But let me send this message out. I know for a fact I'm going to be at a writing this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to go because I have so much research to do, but the goal is for me to be there. All right. If you're here, let me say thank you to you. I appreciate you being here. Please share. Sis Gwen, I see you. Josephina, I see you. Sis Elizabeth, I see you. Woki, I see you. Thank you. Some of you, I see you watching from the far. You don't want to be seen. That's okay. That's fine. So please continue to share. Okay. I will appreciate it if you continue to share. Now, I'm going to find this spoon video. But first, let me show this. I'm going in and out. There's a reason that I'm actually going in and out. Because I live in Tri-State. Okay. My kids were born here. I am an American. I am also a Liberian. Okay. Now, I want you to see this. This young man made this post. I remember him making this post. This is the girl right here. This girl that was just appointed. Everybody wants us to clap because it's a woman. Okay. And it's okay. We will clap. I don't mind clapping. But to bring the same people over in a same circle who have been there, okay, when all of this is happening, there is a problem here. Okay. Here it is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to close this. You see right here? This is Precious. 3 days ago, August 5th, not 3 days ago. Today is August 11th, 6 days ago. It's the President Bouaka. And I made a post on this too. It is alleged, I made some calls and I made a post. It is alleged that Precious Rule, LDEA operation here for all counties in Liberia except Maserado has close ties to the EPS director and may have information related to drug trafficking activity. Allegedly, this claim called for a clear and impartial investigation. Sano County remains a major drug transit zone, and strong accountability is needed to keep Liberia free of drugs. Now, let me tell you where I have problem, and hopefully you guys saw that. Here is the problem. Why does she have to stay in the LDEA? You can transfer her somewhere. Listen, when the foundation lacks the needed integrity to keep the house up, okay, you don't keep putting roof on top of it. You dig it out, you start anew. You dig it out, you start anew. That's what you do. You don't patch it. You don't move them around. They're already there. They have their connection. What is really sad for me, and I want everybody to rethink about this, in 2021, when the State Department and the international community released what was happening in Liberia, let's say there were over 300,000 Liberians that were addicted to drugs. In 2026, 5 years later, there are over 1 million Liberians are addicted to but doing drugs. This is a destruction of a nation. This has nothing to do with your government. It has nothing to do with position. It has nothing to do with imposition. It has nothing to do with opposition. It has to do with all of us. Hey, Tina. It wouldn't just impact one person. All of us right now, directly or indirectly, are affected. Okay? So, give me a moment. Let me play this video. I want you to listen. I played it the other day. I want everybody to listen to this report coming from, and they think they were doing something. Listen to this report. Listen seriously to this report. Okay? They're not even talking about the cocaine. On here, they're talking about the kush. That's what they're talking about, the kush. Not even the cocaine, the kush. That's what they're talking about, the kush. All right? Let's do this. Give me one moment. I want you all listen. I didn't make this. I did not make this, but this is where we are as a nation. Okay? You'll listen to this news and you'll see that. And I played this last week. I will continue to play it. All right? Listen up. This is Liberia. That's your country they're talking about. And you are making this about UP, CDC, and this C and that C. This is our children. This is our brothers. These are our brothers and sisters.
For investigation following massive drug busts.
Okay? Listen up.
President Joseph Boakai has dismissed a dozen government officials and recommended a handful for investigation following massive drug busts in recent months that have generated a public outcry for more stringent action. An estimated 1 in 4 young Liberians is affected or dependent on a substance called kush, leading many to drop out of school and live on the streets as homeless youths, commonly known as Zogos.
You see that?
Liberian authorities destroyed nearly 4 tons of cocaine on July 30th.
Okay. I want all of you to watch this that just happened. Okay, I'm going to play a little
that
more.
Had been seized in one of the country's largest drug busts.
All right. Liberian people, the book people, Gwen, you're here. Okay, I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this. Tell me, is that 9,000 pounds of drugs right there? I will keep asking this question. Do you think that 9,000 pounds of drugs there, they put fuel tire on top of it, they blow it with tire, put gasoline on it? Those stuff, cocaine, Facebook, this is for education purposes. Please do not. Are you calling me? Okay. Let me ask all of you. 9,000 pounds of solid rock dust that went through maybe more than 120 degrees Fahrenheit to be liquid crystal, and you think gasoline, that those who destroy that, they put them in the incinerator and use infrared, what do you call it, camera to monitor it, to burn it and seal it. That you think people got their arm outside, and you think, when you're the doctor, then you can't talk to me. Yes. Yes. Okay. And I'm not sitting here to talk about people relationship, but her relationship with the current operation person put her in a compromising position. We can't say we are fighting something and you got boyfriend and girlfriend. Listen, it's the private affair. But when it comes to the life and the livelihood of our people, our children, it puts us in a place to address that. Okay? It's like you put me and my husband, okay, in a place that everybody's yelling. The people are already pointing in and saying these people are compromised. I'm not saying they are. Okay? Now, this thing just show. Yeah, come back. The people told us, they kept calling back on that line and say they purchased 5,000 bags of flour. I just hear that thing say poof. Okay. And 3 days later, they say they're burning this. 9,000. 4 point something metric ton of solid crystal dust that were towed in truck with extended cap that they put there and they say they burn. And we're all supposed to, because we just love our political parties. We don't love our children enough. We don't love our country. Then the question I'm asking, y'all watch that LA play, all right? Did you hear the amount of children that they say they're on drugs? Y'all listen. Y'all listen here, and I'll give you the number. Listen again.
Liberian President Joseph Boakai has dismissed a dozen government officials and recommended a handful for investigation following massive drug.
Dismiss. Now forward to prosecution. Dismiss. And these very people will come in the next government and say, it was because of political reason I committed no crime. You don't just dismiss people who you think have destroyed your nation, destroyed people, destroyed children, compromised the state, put the state in a position that it can be derailed, that things can happen. You just don't dismiss them. Why are you dismissing them if they have not committed any crime? Based on hearsay, how about you prosecute them? Now, let's go ahead. Let's listen.
Busts in recent months that have generated a public outcry for more stringent action. An estimated 1 in 4 young Liberians is affected or dependent on a substance called Kush.
You know what this means? And I'm not going through this because I played this before. 1 in every 4. If, okay, we know 75% of the Liberian population, 5.7 according to the world population, 5.7 million people is 75%. And that 75%, if 25% is strung up on drugs or addicted to however, you're talking over 1 million young people. You're talking about every child that they're born, okay? At least 1 million or 2 were we born already drug addicted. And we have no means of getting it out of that. I don't know a Liberia. In fact, you go to the hospital to have children, you don't have money, they will not even see you. It's something for all of us to think about. And that's why I believe America will set the tune coming in November. We will change. We will change bigly in my Donald Trump voice, the mistake that we made a couple of years ago. Let's listen to this. Let me finish this.
Leading many to drop out of school and live on the streets as homeless youths, commonly known as Zogos.
That's your country. This is our country. This is Liberia. Okay? This is Liberia. This is where we stand. This is where our country is. And that's exactly, says Liz, that's exactly what I'm saying. We're fighting. We need to fight for character, intelligence, and integrity. That's what we need to fight for, not gender. The gender has not changed. Ellen Johnson said they were president for 12 years. Women were still being raped. When we were in power, rape was declared national emergency. Nothing happened. He promised $2 million to fight rape. I'm yet to see if the $2 million, maybe it was invested. Okay. 20 years later, we don't have DNA machine. The last time a minister raped a young child, a 14-year-old, Gregory Coleman said he took the sample and sent it to America. It was going to be expedited. He came back 3 months later as the people were pressing to say he need another sample. 3 months after that child had gone, taken bath, have a period or have a cycle, and after that. That's a problem. That is the problem. The little boy that was getting raped during Christmas by one of the NSA people. We don't hear about it. They took the little boy and said they took him to a safe house. They abused him there until he ran away and ended in the street. We saw the man crying. But we told the mother, when we took her side, we're raising funds to try to help her out. What did she do? The moment the Liberian government showed up, I don't know what she thought was going to happen. She stopped talking. I don't know if they threatened her, if they intimidated her, because that's what they do in Liberia. I remember when that little girl on the bypass was raped. Okay. And we came in, we collected money. The mom said she needed to move. When Solomon George went there and said, you're trying to make your sedition, you're trying to make our government look bad, the woman started talking to us. But the problem here is, this is not a CDC issue. This is not a UP issue. This is not an ANC issue. This is a Liberian issue. It has to do with our moral compass, our humility as people. Okay? And that's why I will keep continuing to play this tip. Folks, I am really tired tonight because, to tell you the truth, I woke up at 4 or 5 this morning. I needed to be on my way to take my daughter on campus around about what do you call it? To be on campus as early as possible. And I'm not going to say where. So that's how my day was. And I'm so tired from that. Okay. Now, so we're saying to you that Liberian people need to start thinking, not for political party. If the people over who have had a two dominant party history are telling you, no, we see y'all. But we think at this point, you people may be wearing different jersey, but you're doing the same thing. So guess what? We're going to try to do stuff a little differently. That's what we're going to do. We are going to create a third lane. Of the lesser of two evil, we will create a third lane and we will lead the way. That's what the Socially Democratic Party is doing. And Republicans are searching over and endorsing these people with their idea. And because they found out that your government can work for you. How in hell that we live in a country that can spend $1 billion a day, but the children go to school with no food? $1 billion a day. The people are homeless. $1 billion a day. Your army personnel, 2,000 plus of them, require their set every day for depression. How can that nation do? How can the nation that will get the rest of the world up to million, and stay an army, standing army in a country. And you know, the funny thing is, that's why America went to war. The very thing that we're doing. That's why they went to war with England. They say, you keep a standing army on our country, on our colony. We don't want the king here to dictate to us. That's why they went to war. Most of you don't know this. But it became just that. So we're changing. We are going out in the mass. We are going out to vote. And the oligarch, the old laser tail is afraid, and they're carrying on. Listen, I don't care about your religion. If your religion threatens my existence, I don't give a fuck about your religion. If a religion say it's okay for you to sleep with babies because they're female and they don't belong to themselves, I don't care about your religion. Okay? If your religion say you can molest your own children, have children by them, and they don't have right, I don't care about your religion. It's happening here right now in America. They're passing laws. People should not do this. People should not do that. They're passing laws. We are all under surveillance. We are living, but we're living. They say we're free, but we're living a cage. You can't move. So we're about to fix it in November. And they see the shadow, the writing on the wall. And that's what we're doing. So Liberians need to start thinking about their third lane. And you know what? I'm going to finish with this. You know, one of my sisters said they sent me a video about one of the lawmakers in Liberia that abused his wife, left her with nothing, but I haven't seen it yet. I've been running, Hair Talk Scatter, the people can see. So I'm here, I'm about to leave. I came on, I will be here. We will start being on the air. We're working things out. Very soon, it's supposed to be this month. We're working on it. Just trying to get my schedule straight. School just starting. I'm moving back and forth. But we'll be here. And we get 10 people to watch. That 10 people. Last week, I had a burst of energy with a lot of people coming here to watch. Okay. Today, I don't have a lot of people to watch, but that's okay. People will watch later, and I'm totally fine with that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find this spoon stuff that I played today, that I watched today. Where is spoon? With this George Kalondo. Yeah, what he was saying today is that Abbas. I am so blind, I can't see. Okay. It was in a 2 hours mark. When this do NIA. 6 hours ago. Alrighty, I didn't see that. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow because I don't see where he was. Oh, today was the election. Wow. And you know, I need to finish this show with this. I've been asked many times to run in my community on a Democratic ticket. I've been asked at least the last 10 years, almost every year, from representative to city council to city mayor, and I have not. And the reason that I have not, I've had a bad experience in my community. I came to this country as a young woman. I wrote on my sleeve right away, joining people to protest, to make sure Liberia's story was visible, was told in every color. Then resettlement started coming in. And years later, Taylor was gone. And Ellen came to play. We had the Ebola. I actually became the face of Ebola in Georgia. We were the first to be aired. Let me show you some picture here. We were the first to be aired in the state of Georgia, or anywhere in the world for that matter, as a community here. As a community. And I sat and challenged a sitting governor. That time we had Nathan Deal as our governor in Georgia. For my work in the community honored me with a resolution. Let me take that down and show it to you. Mr. Doctor, do you? This is my resolution that we're reading in my name. It is resolution 469, okay, by the Georgia House for my work. But what I want to say to all of you is, and I was here still advocating for the community. Wherever they needed me, I was there, even when the community was divided, because it got to a point that, and I'm going to end with this because I need to share this story. Nobody will tell your story but you. The reason we're being told, because history is always written by the heroes that write it. And during the war here in the community, a lot of people thought the Bidens and Crown people did not need to lead anything that has to do with EULA. Don't touch it. Don't do anything with it. But as time went on, Stanton came, passed, we built the community. And then when Corona came, Ebola, Leo was the president, I was the vice president. The people wanted to talk to a woman. CNN, CNNBC, ABC. I particularly, because of what were happening, because we didn't know communication was not as robust as it is today. Okay, this is one of my pictures here from there. I'm trying to pull this up, but it will not let me. So I'm just going to pull it. This is 2014. Okay, I'm just going to post it in here. This is me, NBC. I believe this is NBC, one of those. I was on NBC, Georgia channel 57 live. and a lot of other radio stations speaking on behalf of running back and forth to the Carter Center to raise money to bring awareness to what was happening in Liberia or in the Mano River region. So my working with the different communities, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and other international people who were helping us to do, kind of put me up in the front, especially when we did our first interview where we were able to connect Liberia to the rest of the international community to talk even when Sawyer passed. So the people in the community started reaching out to me. But then the Liberian people came and asked me to run. I didn't want to be because the drama was too much, but I did. I went out to campaign. I went as far as Georgia is a big state. Georgia have a lot of countries, okay? Georgia have 10 million people. It's widespread, all right? I would drive from here all the way to Marietta just to make sure, because the community were out there, to make sure we brought everyone together. Everybody will not come together, but at least majority, okay? Georgia has 159 counties, 10 million people. And some of the people I brought a lot of young people on. They follow Nathaniel Snow that you were saying, his siblings, their wives, the current leadership, all of them. And the last leadership brought them. I wanted the young people because I wanted to transition to the young people. When I left, before I could leave, I had one woman. She called, said that small, and I don't mind calling her name. Liberian pastors, the moment they heard we wrote a grant, we were going to get about out of 300,000. The Coca-Cola company we wrote a grant also. We were going to find a place, but we had a pilot program. The drama in the Liberian community. These people will show up once a month in that meeting to the community center. They will not pay their fee, membership. They will tell you they're Liberian. They will disturb. And those people sabotage. It got to a point that one of the pastors left his church. He had visited Liberia to go build something. One of the women in the church brought the people, children, to the meeting to come cuss at the community center. The pastor came back and brought them to apologize. The one ended up leaving the church to go to the church where they can come and disturb. I'm saying this so you can learn. And I'm speaking to Liberian people with a belly issue. Okay? With Russell, I call him Billy. We used to call him Billy D. Billy was like a little brother to my oldest brother. That's how I met him. When he used to work for the community, advocate when the refugees were coming, to give access to them, and so they can have the benefits in Minnesota, writing grants, making sure that Minnesota, the government acknowledged the Liberian community. In fact, with the resettlement stuff and people without papers and all of that, my sister-in-law, Mrs. Abba Doro, when people were hiding, Abba Dolo was the one who did a CNN interview and put a face to the Liberian in our community who didn't have paper, the people in the shadow. For Abba to go and see, and people were telling my woman, and they come and deport you. My brother was working for the state. He was the first Black, not just Black, and African, to be director of the Eastern District School in Minnesota. But your wife did not have paper. He had green card at the time. Look at my brother at the time. He filed asylum again, he had green card, and he was still on his stuff. People told Abba, you will go on and see, but when they show Abba and her family, her husband, Dr. Dolo, the contribution they were making it in the community, the people started coming around. They didn't have Liberia and day weekend over there those days. And somebody would say, why she going all over the place? I like to tell story because I'm a history teacher. I'm telling you my own story here. In this community, if me, Cindy Martin Paye, put my name in the hat to go run to be city council, my school district, the parents will vote for me. Foreigner will vote for me. Liberian will create their group that will go against me. And when the people ask me, I tell them I got bigger dream because I know Liberians. I know you. Hopefully, you change your mind that you voted for Billy. I saw you last year or 2 years ago. What you did? You all took, I'm not sure, a black woman or foreigner on Liberia Independence Day when Billy was running to represent. During the ice raid in that place, I didn't see that woman in your community. I saw Billy in the marketplaces. I saw him dropping stuff in front of your door. I don't talk to him like that. He's not perfect. I don't believe any of us are, but he has always been visible. He may not come and dance with all of you because that's the thing we have with Liberia. Me who can show up even at 5 minutes. I will cook and bring it. I will buy drinks and bring it when you're doing stuff. They will go against me. The mere fact that me, who there, Liberians will do that. And it goes way back to the hatred that we have. And the foundation that Liberia is built on. And I'm saying that there is a Liberian woman who will minister. She will interview. This woman says she admires Leopold, the one who bought over 10 million black people and colored children lean. She said the reason that when the Congo people came to Liberia, because they were not plenty and they didn't want to go again, so they invited a foreigner because they themselves were foreigner. That what Liberia is the way it is. Because we don't see each other as Liberian. You want me to play A? I will play her interview next week. I mean, yeah, maybe this weekend, so you can see that. I'll play it. I will play it. But I finish, I gotta go. I will talk to all of you on Thursday by God's grace. Or I'll use Thursday to finish my schoolwork so I can have Saturday to do some stuff. And besides, let me say to all of us, all right? So that the story of Liberians, we will elevate other people, we'll be happy for them. But once you succeed, they will all show up. They will become your friend. They will want all the favor. You saw that lady from Colorado? That lady from Colorado, that were not Liberian people that voted for her. Colorado, it has a lot of, mostly foreigners. Okay. Where the other one, Idaho, Collins. You know who voted for Collins? That were not Liberian people. But you put Collins among Liberian people and you ask him to vote for them, vote for him. Liberian people will make all the excuses in the world not to vote for him. That's us. We will know you are good, but we don't want to touch you because then we feel that you are some degree better. Somalians came to Georgia. We are the oldest organized immigrant community in Georgia. We had a center. Liberian will not rent it. They will tell you it's either small or it's too expensive or it's too far. But they will spend $10,000 to rent a place. They will spend $5,000 to rent a place that was smaller and further. And when they pay, they will not clean up. I have to get up the next morning. Nobody will go, and I will have to go clean it. So our problem is deeper Our foundation is lacking, and that's what we need. I have said enough for one night. Let me say thank you to all of you who tuned in. Thank you. God bless you again. America is experiencing the wind of change, and that change is going to blow over to Liberia, and I anticipate it. Liberia needs a tailwheel. All right. Saturday, I will be talking about Magdani, John Ossoff, and our doctor, and a young man from Mississippi. The wind of change is blowing. It's going to be a bloody nose in November. Now, well, all of us need to ask those who want to lead us. We need to ask them, why do they want to lead? We don't need to ask, if election were today, who will you vote for? The question will be, what will you vote for? Are you voting for education? Education is the easier way to mobility. That's how nations have changed. Human capital. I listened to the Minister of Education, but we'll talk about that on Saturday. I'm going to end my video with this young man. I want you to listen up. What leadership does, true leadership, does not demand. It inspires one to greatness, to rethink about yourself and your decision and where you stay in a moment in time. Let's listen to this young man.
Is fighting. Here at home, instead of sending them abroad to fight wars, we have no business fighting. And we're finally going to meet the unmet promise of guaranteeing every single person in this country the health care they need and deserve through Medicare for all. I ask you, well, doctor, how you going to pay for that? I don't know. Maybe instead of $252 billion to a rogue agency like ICE, maybe we can actually keep our money here to provide health care here. We can have a secure border. We can enforce immigration policy, but we can do it without shooting people in the face or the back of the head. Maybe we keep our money here instead of fighting a war we got no business fighting. Raising our gas prices to $5 a gallon, burning our tax dollars to teach the Ayatollahs that they have a choke point on the world's energy supply. A war he doesn't even know how to get out of because he shouldn't have gotten into in the first place. We're going to keep our tax dollars here at home instead of sending them abroad to fight wars we have no business fighting.
So this is how we go out tonight. All right. You know what you heard tonight? You heard the issues and the solution. Thank you, Joe. We heard the issues, we heard the solution. Who have you heard talking in that light? Alexander Cummings. When he points out the issue, he said, this is how we solve it. And he has a record of solving problem. And we will talk about that more and more. I can't wait to get on the air in Liberia and we can expand on that. What will you be voting for? I don't want personality. Will you be voting for education for your children? Your constitution demands that. It's a constitutional right. Your constitution, you don't need a new social contract. A social contract is your constitution. That what bonds you and your leadership. That's what you should be asking for. Article 6 of the Constitution mandate education. 2017, there was a law passed that made education a human right. 2022, it was reconfirmed What the policies that have been crafted out of that? Why is that not in the budget? Why are we telling school you must take in a child, okay? Because Alexander come and show up on the platform and say, when we take over, children's school, K1 through 12 will be free. Now you want to force the schools. I will show you on my classroom. Saturday, I will record it and I will show you my classroom. What a classroom should look like. I have interactive whiteboard. I have projector overhead. I have laptop. I have back cameras. I have printers. I have scanners. I have a copy room that I can just walk in, don't have to ask anybody, and pick bond of paper I needed to use it because I'm trusted at my level to use the resources of the school ethically, responsibly, and professionally. I'm giving every tool to be successful so my children, my students can be successful. So we're running around and say, if you go, they ask you for print paper, you don't even pay them. The other day, I've been advocating for teachers. Martin Colley wrote, they increased the teacher pay from $4,000, which is like $20, less than $20, to $75, $7,500. That's not even $50. What is wrong with us? But I will stop before I go too far. I need to go print some stuff here, okay? And then go study. I'll talk to you all later. Thank you. The wind of change is blowing in the United States, and we are blowing it, and we are following. We're letting it blow us in the right direction. There is the turling, and that impact will hit the rest of the world, and I look forward to it. Thank you so much for those of you who tune in, and good night. I stayed longer than I anticipated that I would. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.